Hey everyone, welcome back. And today I have an excavator behind me, and I wanted to kind of go over just the operations. If you're thinking about renting these for a job, I had zero experience, and I was able to complete my job, and I actually completed a little bit ahead of schedule. I'm going to show you guys kind of like a cab view, what it looks like in here, just all the different controls that there are. Like I said, I had no experience with it. The rental company kind of went over them very quickly with me. I watched some YouTube videos, but not only does this apply to the Kubotas, but it applies to a lot of the mini X's that you see out there, the Chinese ones. The controls are almost identical in all of those. So looking down from inside the cab here, you'll see a variety of different levers. They're pretty straightforward, but I will go over those in detail, kind of show you what each one does. But just to quickly kind of give you an overview, you got the two levers right there in the front. You do have two pedals, right and a left pedal. You have a joystick on the right side. You have a lever with a button on the right side. Here's your status panel, tells you your hours, fuel, temperature. Here's your key ignition. Just a switch for lights. This is just your throttle up and down. That one's pretty straightforward in what that one does. On the left side, you do have another joystick, and then this orange lever, which I'll go over that as well. First things first, it starts like any other motor. The only exception is this is diesel, so it has glow plugs. If it's a colder morning, what you want to do is turn the key to run. You'll hear it beep and then engage. Just give it a few seconds for those glow plugs to warm up, and then go ahead and just click it over to start for a second or two, and it'll fire right up. In order for it to fire up, this lever has to be all the way back. You can see it's all the way back here. That's the only way that it will start. Once you have it started, you can see I can move these joysticks and it'll do nothing. Nothing's operating, and that's because this lever's all the way back. You want to push this forward, which moves this into position, and once that's locked into place, then you have full controls. So the first thing you're going to want to do is learn the basics of just forward and backwards, getting yourself into position. Maybe you're unloading it from a trailer, whatnot. That's what these levers here are for. It works just like a zero turn. If you have a zero turn mower, this side, left side's for that track. This side is for the right track. But you want to just be gradual. I have it idling. You can idle, and it'll move just fine. It's probably preferred that you just let it idle, just because the higher RPMs you have, the more sensitive the controls can get. So we're just going to move forward and backwards. I'll move it to the right and left just a little bit, show you what it does. So I'm going to push these both at the same time forward, same amount, and you can see it's going to move forward. If I were to change the amount and say I push the right one further, it's going to start turning to the right. Same thing if I push the left one forward, it's going to start turning to the left. One thing you want to be careful when you're on grass though, keep those tracks turning. Whether one's slower or faster than the other, it doesn't really matter. But once one stops and you start turning, it's going to start ripping your yard up. So let's get back here in place. This green button on the top here, if you push that, you'll hear a beep. That puts it in a faster speed, and it will move quite a bit faster. You may need more throttle just because it is using more hydraulic power, and it can get very jumpy. So I recommend only using that whenever you need to get somewhere quicker. Otherwise, it'll idle just fine and maneuver just fine going back and forth. So the next important thing is once you get in place, this front blade, you want to drop it. So you're just going to drop this blade just till you feel it slightly lift just a little bit, and you're good. And that's just this lever on the right. Pull it back, raise it, push it down, lower it. The next thing I wanted to show you is kind of the boom operation. And the boom actually not only can go in and out, raise, lower, but you can actually tilt it right to left. And that's actually with this pedal. This right pedal, if you push it to the left, the boom will actually go to the left. Push it to the right, and it'll go to the right. That's great if you're digging up like maybe towards a foundation or tight quarters, or you just need to get a better angle. For the most part, you can do all your digging straight forward, but it is nice that they give you that ability. I don't know if every Mini X has that option, but it is definitely worthwhile to look into. Next thing we're going to go over is just the boom operation up and down. And that's this left-hand joystick. You're going to push it down to go down, up to go up. I'm going to throttle it up just a little bit. And that's why it's being a little bit jerky. Also on the left side is your right to left pivot movement. So if I want to turn to the left, I just move the joystick to the left. If I turn to the right, or want to go to the right, I should say, I just move the joystick to the right. Very smooth. That takes care of this left joystick movement. On the right side, you have your front boom movement. So you have your bucket curl, and then you have your movement of that front in and out. So let's move it out. You'll see to move it out, I'm just pushing the joystick forward. To move it in, I'm pushing the joystick towards me. And then I'm going to put it down because I do have another bucket on here. I'm getting ready to return this, but I did borrow both buckets. So to actually curl it outwards, you're going to move the joystick to the right. You can see it curling outwards. Curl it inwards, you're going to move it to the left. So the trick is just getting the coordination between your left and right hands. For the most part, you're using these two joysticks the entire time, and that's what does all your movements. Whether you're curling it, moving it, left, right, every movement is done with these two joysticks. The trick is gradual movements. If I just hit it, it's very jerky. So you want to just do gradual movements each time, and that'll take a lot to actually learn. And then just learning the concept of using the joysticks, what does what, right, left, pull back, in, out, and then moving your dirt over, dropping it back down, and then repeating. The only thing I didn't go over was this left foot pedal, and on this machine, since it's a rental, it's not hooked up, but it is labeled service port. There is a port on the front of the boom here. I assume it's for that front hydraulic, so if you were to rent like an auger or something like that, that's what this foot pedal would control. But in this case, again, it's not hooked up, doesn't do anything on this machine itself. That pretty much concludes all the operations, basic operations of the machine. I can throw in some videos of actually digging with it when I was working on the project. I did run like about 180 feet of trench line for some pipe. That was about, I think that the deepest point, it was maybe 18 to 20 inches deep. And it performed flawlessly. It dug that. You really got to spend some time on it. I would say it took me a good 3 to 4 hours of running before I got a bit smoother on it. But I was able to dig that pretty quickly once I got the hang of it. I then dug for a dry well. I had a 4-foot by 4-foot basically hole that I had to dig, put the dry well in, fill gravel around it. And it dug that pretty quick too. It maybe took me an hour, hour and a half to dig that. And that's moving the dirt pretty carefully. But if you're inexperienced, that's fine. I think you'll get the hang of it. I would say 90% of the people should be able to operate one of these machines if you're comfortable around machines. If I didn't have the Kubota tractor and had my experience on that, I might have been a little bit more hesitant, but I've worked on other machines before. I've ran skid steers before, so I was comfortable. It's just really learning the joysticks and just smooth operation, and that just comes with gentle movement. So again, I'll throw these videos in here now. You can see it digging a little bit, and then we're going to load this back up and take it back to the rental company. Real quick before I show these videos of this thing in action, I wanted to show you how to fill it up, because if you get a rental like me, you will have to fill it beforehand. Not beforehand, but before you return, or you will be charged. And very simple. You do need the key. You put it in there, you unlock it, and then you can see there's your diesel. It's this big cap right in here. So just fill it up with regular diesel you get at a pump, and you'll be good. It is pretty efficient on fuel. I mean, I think I used it 8 to 10 hours, maybe used 3 gallons of diesel, if that. So very impressed with the usage. It is a small machine, but don't let it fool you. It's pretty powerful for what it can do. So guys, if you're hesitant about renting a machine like this to do a home project, don't be. There's a little bit of a learning curve. Maybe pay for an extra rental day or something like that. It gives you, some time to practice. Don't try to rush the job, but it's a nice piece of equipment, and I'd love to own one someday. If you have a big home project you want to tackle, go ahead and do it. You won't regret it. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Until the next one, take care.